Hi, and welcome to another KWM tasting note with me, Andrew. Today we're trying Vina Cobos Felino Malbec 2021. Comes from a combination of vineyards from the Uco Valley and the Lujan de Cuyo in Mendoza. So these vineyards are quite high altitude. You're talking between 2,300 and 4,000 feet pretty much in the Andes there in South America. So the guys behind this here is Paul Hobbs. He's a Californian winemaker. He first came across Argentinian Malbec, Argentinian vineyards on a trip across the Andes from Chile with a good friend of his from Catena Wines, Nicholas Catena, I believe. So two legends of the Argentinian wine scene. So he set up Vina Cobos on the back of his Californian estates. And what I particularly like about this range of wines now, Felino is the entry point, I suppose, for Vina Cobos wines. And they're not cheap, they're sort of 18, 19 quid a bottle. So it's still an expensive enough entry point for most people. But his wines go right up to maybe hundreds of pounds a bottle. Some of the most expensive wines out of Argentina. He takes that sort of Californian winemaking philosophy and mentality into Argentina. And he produces these really beautiful, plush, upfront wow sort of wines that you just go, wow, that's amazing glass of wine. It's just so open, so powerful, and I think he does it really well across all his price points. You get a lot of value for money across all his wines, even the more expensive stuff. They do express really good terroir, what the grape variety is all about. So everybody knows Malbec out of Argentina nowadays is in pretty much every wine list out there. It's a must-have in any shop nowadays. Felino is a really, really good example of Argentinian Malbec, I believe. It's got all that you want in a Malbec out of Argentina. It's got that sort of sweetness of fruit, that balance to it, power but not over the top, and a good level of complexity to it as well. So looking at this here, this is actually being aged in American oak, I believe, for 9 months. Yeah, for 9 months it was aged in American oak. So that adds its sort of character of its own too, a little sort of sweetness to the fruit, so it helps balance it out too. So when you pour this wine out, bear in mind it is 2021, so it's just over around about 2.5 years old now, I suppose, if you think about the South Southern Hemisphere harvest, this being August. The really inky deep colour to it, very narrow purpley rim. It looks very young, certainly. Just an explosion on the nose. You get that lovely blackberry fruit. There's a slight meatiness to it, a sort of violet nature, and maybe slightly balsamic as well. It's a wine that does really benefit from being decanted, opened up a little bit before you go to consume it. It'll just help soften it out and bring the fruit out of the actual wine, and it's a much more rewarding experience. Definitely decant wines if you have the time to do so. It makes such a difference. So lovely nose, very attractive. Lovely blackberry style fruit, kind of dark chocolate with a squeeze of sort of a crack of black pepper in there as well. Tannins are slightly chalky, but that will soften out with a bit of airtime as well. Really rewarding glass of wine with just some red meat dishes. Steak is the big food pairing in Argentina, of course. They love their cow down in Argentina. And red wine is their bebida nacional. The national drink is red wine. So steak and red wine. It's not great for the cholesterol if you're an Argentinian, but hey ho, they must have some magic recipe for it. But yeah, Felino Malbec out of Argentina, Uco fruit, Lujan fruit combined, 9 months in French, American oak, sorry. Classy glass of wine. You'll never be disappointed in this. It's one of our best selling Argentinian Malbecs, and when you try it, you'll understand why. Until next time, cheers.